Tēnā koutou katoa. So this week's live is a day early. Last week's live was a day late for very opposite reasons. So last week's live, I had to come home and go to bed on Friday because I was exhausted. This week's live, a day early because I'm off tomorrow. I've got a long weekend. I'm heading to Oakuni and excited about a long weekend ahead, taking Monday as well, so a long weekend. So today, a day early for the live, and I want to continue last week's theme. We talked about matariki, and we talked about the kind of transition that we're going through, I guess, at the moment. And I don't know about you, but I struggle with winter. My energy is lower. I need a lot more sleep. I tend to get into a bit of a winter funk, particularly at the moment where we can't escape and go to warmer climes. We can't. I was due in Bali last month, and we can't go and see the sun. Although today has been a beautiful sunny day down in Wellington. And you may have seen a blog that I wrote this week along these lines of our winter and taking advice from nature, because sometimes it's like an ebb and flow. Sometimes we have loads of energy, we have a lot on, we're quite busy, and other times we have less on, or we need to take more time to recover. And you've heard me talk in the past about these peaks and troughs and the performance waves, and we can't be on all the time, and we do get tired when that happens, and I've noticed that with myself. So to be able to take some time off and some downtime is equally important. And winter tends to be a natural time that we turn inwards, we get more introspective. Some species even hibernate, and I know I've been tempted. I always thought that maybe we should have been one of those species that actually just hibernate and wake up in summer. And so it's natural for us to be going through this as we go through winter and listening to the seasons. And the blog that I wrote this week, for those of you that have seen it, now I'm not a gardener, my partner is, and we have this beautiful pot outside our back door of hydrangeas, and they're beautiful and blooming in the summer, and they're about 1 metre tall. And yet when she cuts them back for winter, they just look like little sticks, and they're about this big. And I often think, are they dead? How can they survive? But I've noticed just this week, which is why I wrote the blog, that green shoots have started to appear. And it is this constant cycle that we go through in our lives, that nature goes through with the seasons, that often when we stop, when we pare back, when we lose what no longer serves us, when we cut right back, we get to regrow. We see those green shoots, we get new growth. And of course, we're in Matariki now, we're going through winter, and that's the process that we're all going through. But the analogy that I made in the week is obviously with plants. They only bounce back and grow and bloom and flourish if we nurture them, we water them, we feed them, they get enough sunlight. And I guess we're the same as humans, and that's certainly what I've been viewing in myself as I've gone through these ebbs and flows with winter, and certainly with my energy over the last few weeks. So thankfully, touch wood, this week, much more energy, looking forward to a long weekend as well. Have taken some opportunities to indulge in some self-care. You'll notice I've had a haircut and I've been for a massage this week. So that has given me a huge amount more energy. And I think it's appropriate for this time of year, and also for life in general. We are not supposed to be on all the time and full of energy. That's not our natural state. So being able to take that downtime and cut back to be able to regrow and have those new shoots is really important. So what's going on this week, apart from my long weekend? So next week we have a free webinar coming up. So one of my most popular topics, one of my most popular workshops in overcoming imposter syndrome, doing a free webinar on Friday lunchtime next week. So there's over 100 people registered already. If you want to place on that, it's online, so there's no cap. If you want to place on that, then I'll pop the link in this live so you can register and get your spot, and then you'll receive the Zoom link for Friday lunchtime, and you can get a few tips on how to battle imposter syndrome, understand the theory behind it, but also the strategies that we need. And of course, this is a bit of a snapshot in advance of the 4-week course, which starts in August. And the other thing that's happening on Friday next week is the retreat early bird ends. So we have only got 2 more places left on our September weekend retreat in Otaki. So if you would like to have one of those 2 places, you get the opportunity before Friday next week to get $300 off. Otherwise it goes up to full price. I suspect it will sell out before we get the opportunity to go up to full price. So if you want to be one of those 2 spaces, again, the link will be in this live. Otherwise, that is it for this week. I'm going to sign off because I've got a couple of things to do in town this afternoon, and then I'm off. So taking a long weekend. You might see some photos on Insta of me in the snow. We're off up to Arkuni for the long weekend. So whatever you're doing this weekend, enjoy it. And I will catch up with you again next week. Mā te wā.